Hey you, it's me, Amy B from Unity, and I'm here today with your integration offering for your throat and neck area. So we've been covering simply how much goes on in this space, that it's our filtration tube for our body and how that connects in with our main filtration center of ultimate in our waste disposal, which is the thoracic duct of our lymphatic system, which is right here. As well as all of this, it's got to keep hold and upright this piece of equipment. That's it, our brain and our head. And when we look at the little guy here, the neck, which is doing all that work to hold us upright, we've got to send it some appreciation, right? So that's what we're here to do, is to honor and appreciate this and the network, the efforts that it goes to keep us in this position. Okay, so as well as holding up our head, these muscles here, they all connect into the inner working of our voice. So you think in every moment of the day, we're breathing, we're talking, we're holding up our head, and we're activating all of the little muscles of the working of our face. All of this is mainly being held by this beautiful muscle here. This one attaches at the back of the ear and into the collarbone, and it's known as the SCM, or the sternocleidomastoid, if you like. Sternocleidomastoid. So the SCM, it gets very tight because it's got a lot of work to do, as we've just described. Not only is it the main mast that holds up our head when our head is in an alignment, but it attaches into the front of our shoulders. And as we talked about in the last chapter, the heart chapter, it's this area that's getting triggered by pretty much anything that's going on. Are we stressed? Do we need to go somewhere? And we're all spending our time with this switched on. So this is the anchor point for this muscle. So hopefully that's helping to paint a bit of a picture of why your neck is getting so tight. So how do we impact that and enhance it in the best possible way? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what we're here to do. So a couple of things. Think about, first of all, you want your head stacked above your heart, central. So none of this coming forward, oh, what's going on my computer, or what am I looking at on my phone? Oh, you see what this is doing to these muscles. But as well as that, when we're in conversation, quite often we lean forward, or just when we're tired, we slump forward. So what you're actually doing there is you're creating more stress, more pain. What you should be doing, elevate your breastbone slightly. So that elevation might feel like an effort, but then once you're back on your head above your spine, you can just relax, and I can tell you the peace that feels. Try it. Okay, so you kind of slumped forward, normal position. Just elevate your breastbone, you breathe in, and then sink into the center and relax. So let's give it a little bit more relaxation, shall we, with some self-massage. So we'll focus on the SCM muscle. So you can lift your shoulder up a little bit there. You see where you get a concave here. You can see this thick, juicy muscle there. So let's start off like so. So we're going to massage the left side of my neck. So I'm going to use my right hand. So we're going to draw the shoulder up. So the left shoulder comes up. The right hand feels the collarbone, and then feels the fleshy muscle as it attaches. And we're going to pinch, squeeze, and roll. Pinch, squeeze, roll, and then release. Pinch, squeeze, roll, release. We're going to do this all the way up. Feels a bit weird. Oh, it's so good. So as you're coming up to the top here, that muscle, you'll feel its thickness. But if it's really tight, you might not be able to really get hold of it, but you can maybe hold either side of it or just pinch, squeeze and roll the tissues around it. Still going to have a good effect. So we never jab or poke in these areas because there are lots of glands, not to mention artery, and you don't want to jab or poke, but we just pinch, squeeze, roll. Pinch just enough to pull the tissues apart. What this is doing is it's opening up all the fascia. Beautiful. Okay, now let's give those shoulders a roll and a shrug up and down. And we can do the other side. So we're going to lift up the right shoulder, take the left hand, find the collarbone, find this attachment, pinch, squeeze, roll, release. Pinch, squeeze, roll, release. The reason we elevate the shoulder is it makes the muscle a bit softer. All the way up to the skull. Nice. So now taking the heel of each hand, let's roll down that whole muscle. Let the head flop forward, but put your 3 fingers of each finger underneath your collarbone and lift your head up, point your chin to the ceiling, keeping some friction on the fingers so you feel that pull tight through all these muscles. It's so good. Let's try that again. So using the soft heels of your hand, stroke down, let your head flop forward, 3 fingers, lift up your chin, point it to the sky. Beautiful. So now our neck's feeling a bit happier with us. We're going to move into some lymphatic drainage. So like I mentioned to you, this is the body's ultimate filtration system. All of the waste fluid of the body ends up here. So when we clear through this area, we are then actually having a drawing effect and a detox effect on the rest of the body. Pretty cool, hey? So it's quite simple, really. So if you link your hands together and you place them through the collarbones here, so your fingers are just below your collarbone's there. So my thumb and walk up right next to my collarbone, okay? And what we're going to do is use our elbows to flap. So you just squeeze down and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stretch those arms out wide, getting a good stretch for your fingers. Link and push. And then we'll try that again. You don't have to link the fingers this time though, that was just to sort of demonstrate the position. You just place one hand on this upper side of the breast here. So you can actually feel the diamond shape, collarbone, shoulder, and it comes down to the breast and up through the center. That's where the thoracic duct is, each side. So you can just place your hand over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. That's a really lovely self-care exercise to do to clear through your backlog, particularly if you've been unwell, you've had a lot of tension, or you haven't moved a lot. What else? So we talked a little bit in the one of the original alignment integration videos about sleep posture, but that's very important for the neck. So I just thought I'd add a little bit more, particularly if you have neck pain, that you don't want your pillow to be too high or too flat. So if you stand up against a wall, you're back against a wall, you take a pillow and you put it behind your head, you don't want your chin to be pointing down or up. You want your chin to be nice and level. So that will help. And as well as thinking what's happening locally to the neck, most of the time When the neck is out of alignment, so you get like a big lumpy beard on your neck, or it clicks or it crunches, it's due to a misalignment in the lower body, I'm afraid. But that's cool because we've just covered all of that in the previous videos. So that's why we start at the feet, because the simple thing of crossing your feet over every day is going to send your pelvis a little bit to the side. And then your upper body's going to have to compensate and bring that around. So your shoulders are going to have to go one back, one forward to even that out. So your neck is going to end up really crooked just to stay forward. So you see my neck, my face wants to stay in the same place no matter what my body's doing. So it's not normally the position of the head. Well, it is, because the head will always be level with the horizon through the eyes. So if you have joined us today to try and relieve neck pain, I do suggest you go back and you check through the other videos. But hopefully you found that helpful. Please do look after your voice as well. Just a little tip from me, someone who actively looks after her voice. If you're going to be using your voice a lot, please do some warm-ups, and here's one for you now. I want you just to purse your lips just like you're going to blow out candles from a cake. Blow out some air. One more time. And now I would like you to just add a little bit of noise, but with the same air pressure. Ooh. Ooh. See how that helps find that softer space with your vocal cords closer together. What happens when we project our voice incorrectly is that we end up pulling our vocal cords apart because we use the muscles on the outside of our throat. Whereas if we can focus in on using the voices, the vocal cords on the inside of our throat, then we're going to be able to protect our voice. That was just a little bonus integration I thought I'd add in there today for you as well. With so much love from me and admiration for all you'll be. That's it from me, Amy B.